Welcome to the 1-year anniversary show of Quilt Nerding. Think of this as that 100th TV episode thing where the producers go the cheap route by showing you clips from previous shows. But no one is paying these people anyway, so it's extra cringe. Good evening. I'm Steph Cake's imaginary friend, Cressida Von Slinkerton. Join me as we take a stroll through the past year on this ragtag, shoestring budget, little live stream. Quilt Nerding roared. Or maybe it squeaked to life in November 2023 as a spin-off of the wildly popular Quilt Nerd Show hosted by Mary Fonz. The stream started on Instagram Live but quickly moved to YouTube. They say it's because of video stability, but we all know it's because Cake can't keep her hands off the filters. Jill and Steph launched the stream with a book club for the Quilt Nerds, and they read 10 books over the course of 12 months. That's 10 more books than either of them would have read otherwise. But read they did. And there were opinions. Oh, there were opinions galore. But as I always say, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one and they usually stink.
She either did not have an editor or she needed to fire her editor. Many quilters travel in packs, like wonderful howling wolves. I'm like, what? Are we supposed to be majestic? Or are we supposed to be a bunch of like annoying, like, oh,
and
here's some fabric.
Oh, she claims are disgusting, dirty sneakers.
You probably noticed that these clowns, I mean these gals, love to chair dance. The stream starting music was often a topic of conversation. It was free and easy, just like me. Hey, who added that to the copy?
That music was some smooth jazz to get you like. Oh, I was dancing. Is that how you dance when you go out dancing? Are you one of those people?
I'm a touch and step.
Our quilty duo interviewed 3 fantastic authors, and they are deeply indebted to these talented writers. In fact, to show their appreciation, they lured one to a murder house.
The end of her bed.
Uh-huh.
And like, that's just a creepy looking basement.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was just like, I wouldn't sleep if that, nope, not right at the end of my bed.
Just like hard-hitting investigative journalists, they coax an admission out of author Dawn Ronningen. It is true, she covets Jill's nut. You didn't forget about the nut, did you?
And I have really special memories about all of those, spending time in Kathy's home, spending time in Tex's home. Jill brought the nut. I got to hold the nut. So, I mean, we have really special memories on all those things, even if I don't own them. So, yeah.
In turn, Jill admitted that Dawn's book, Antique American Needlework Tools, has convinced her that she does, in fact, need all the things.
Looking at all the tools, and believe me, I went to a show today. I noticed things that I haven't noticed before. I've never looked at reticules. You bet I did today. So it's definitely another one of those, the more you know. And then we come over here, the more you spend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
While reading Mary Kay Waldvogel's soft covers for hard times, it's very likely that Jill and Steph solved the mystery of a long-lost and historically significant quilt. Further investigation is warranted.
I'm assuming many people here have watched Friends, but maybe not. But in an episode of Friends, Monica Geller, who is obsessively cleans all the time, it is discovered that she has a crap closet.
I love the crap closet episode.
Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. A place as big as the White House, there has got to be at least one
crap closet
where someone was like, what do I do with this? I don't know. Here, put it in, you know what I mean? So
Mary Kay went on to charm the gals with the story of how she fell in love with quilts. I think we can all relate to that love at first quilt sighting.
So I went off one Saturday morning and I saw a quilt in the window of a store in Evanston. And I mean, I just walked right in there. I loved it. I walked right in there. I said, I want that quilt. I didn't care how much it cost, who made it, how old it was, none of that stuff. I was going to get it because I loved it and I hung it on the wall. That was the beginning, and I fell hook, line, and sinker for fabrics, women's studies, all of it tied in.
In their interview with author Anne Hermes, they learned tips about how she got her friends to do the hard work while she was writing patchwork pillowcases. As I already may have mentioned, they repaid her kindness by giving her the scariest room in the murder house.
And so I got the easy job most of the time. I just pressed the button, take photo. And I had at one point Barb Garrett and a friend of mine from work, Marianne Matthews. They came out with me and did all the handling of the pillowcases and the bending over. Poor Marianne, yeah, she had to bend over a lot.
They also shared Anne's disappointment that a particular museum didn't care about one of her discoveries. Geez, some institutions, am I right?
This pillowcase behind me, the middle one, it has a blue background fabric. I think I found a quilt that matches that in a museum in Texas. It escapes me right now what it was. And I contacted them and I said, hey, I think I have a pillowcase that matches a quilt of yours. But nobody cared. They didn't respond back. I
Wow.
can.
Well, that's how you know that's someone who doesn't love them as much as we do, because we would have
Right.
been like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I would have had the pillowcase have been running into the museum like,
yeah,
Quilt Nerding hosted 10 needlework nights, where Jill and Steph showed off collectible treasures and mined the internet for versions no one can afford. In further news, Jill may have lead poisoning.
wouldn't that be funny though if like you go over to your girlfriend's house to sew and you walk in and she's like, hey, just gnawing on her shoe pincushion. Just thinking, kind of like how we chew pencil tips, like, this lead's yummy.
After reading Dawn's book, Steph threw down the gauntlet with the 100-day challenge using Dawn's Mary Witherwax pattern. Jill went on to stitch exactly 33.33% of one block. You watch the Nerds Watch auctions. Y'all, that's kind of weird. They also examined buyers' premiums. And based on what I learned from them, I'm in the wrong business.
Great for the quilt. But like, God, with a 20% buyer's premium, that's another $62 added to the sale price.
I know. That's the part that's really difficult.
Of final note, Cake's technical abilities, while not stellar, are at least endearing. And Jill doesn't Inception anymore, mostly.
Well, my video won't start. Yay, there I am.
Is going to be the end.
Jill and Stephanie shared their adventures and discoveries, from quilt turnings to museums to AQSG seminar. Most importantly, they did all that alongside their nerd friends. Whether they know you in real life or just by your online handle, they are thrilled you're part of their journey and look forward to an exciting second year. And that's the way it is. Thank you, folks. Are you still here? Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
And this is the spread eagleness where I'm like, Eagle, what are you up to?